All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little video here about some of these preview editions that Stephen Platt was involved with different companies. I had the pleasure of working with Platt back in the 90s. Phenomenal artist. His art style took a drastic change, I feel like, post like '05, '08, somewhere around there. But I am a huge fan of like his older, mid '90s and late '90s work. So yeah, let's go and take a peek at some of the stuff I got here. Um, I'll do my best to kind of let you know sort of which edition it is too, because several editions of these do exist in different forms. But I kind of cherry picked out of my collection different ones that, to me, are the ones I usually go to more so than not. So, boop. All right. So here we are. Got a stack of Splat previews. I'm going to start with the probably the rarest find here. Um, this book here, in my opinion, it's a fun book to own, um, and that's really all I can say about it. It's super expensive. I think raw copies now on the net are about $100. I don't think it's really worth it just because of the fact of the reduction issues. As you know, Platt has like insane detail and all that. And in all honesty, this small of an edition of his line art doesn't do the line art justice. It's very muddied. Again, it's a cool book to own as an artist or a Platt fanatic, but I just you're not going to get your bang for the buck. I actually prefer the full length issue 5 in full color if I'm going to look at it for reference or just some inspiration or whatever. Most of Platt's work for myself is it's always fun to look at, and then I feel like hyped. Like as soon as I start looking at this stuff and see this sort of thing, it makes me want to draw, And I think that's one of the exciting things about Platt was, regardless what you think about, the anatomy or his extreme style and that, there was always enough going on within his the pages to make you just feel like, man, I want to do that. That looks cool. Like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous stuff. So okay, so like this is the ashcan from the 95, 94, 95. Profit issue 5. So it's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get 13 pages of interiors. The black and white line art of one of the original pieces that they were given to comic shops as a poster to promote this book. And then the line art to this cover here. The problem I have with both of these is they look very bitmapped. I don't know what happened when they produced this ashcan, but the line art on both of these is horrible. If you look on Google, you can actually find high res of both of these. That's far superior to what's printed in here. And then it ends with a Newman ad, Matsuda. It ends with these preview pages here, which were just like sketches, right? These last two. And I know for a fact this was in a Wizard magazine that did a Platt feature, and I'm not entirely sure if this was or not. And this little headshot reminds me a little bit of his Double Tap character, so maybe he was kind of planting the seed early. So anyways, there's that. If you can find it for cheap, $5-10, I'd say get it. Anything more than that, I think you're better off with the regular book. But like I said, it's fun to own, fun to look at. 95 Profit Relaunch, Volume 2, Issue 1 Preview, Line Art Edition, right? San Diego Comic-Con, 1995 edition. You can still find this fairly cheap, probably around $30. Totally worth it. It's the complete book. It is not pencils. It's the full inks by Marlowe. And no qualms. This book right here, to me, is, as far as Platt's work is concerned, this is nirvana for Platt, for me. I did get to see a lot of this book get produced in person. I do have a lot of photocopies also of the pencils of this stuff. But this is a great preview book that anyone can grab off eBay, probably. I don't think most comic shops would have this. This was sold during the convention at the con. And yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but anyways, if you have the Chromium wraparound edition of Prophet One Relaunch, this is the entire book. Yeah, and so yeah, interesting story. This piece here had to be inked on vellum, and I remembered that the piece was lifted from the studio. Someone stole the original to this piece. It was either misplaced or stolen. So Marlowe, I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, Marlowe had to work off a Xerox, and this entire page here was literally a vellum inked page, like on the thin vellum. Insanity. So, anyways, yeah, that's a little something a lot of people don't know. So, yeah, this original art here might be on the black market. Not entirely sure of the original. So yeah, this inked piece here, like I said, it's inked on a piece of vellum. It's not inked on the original board, which was MIA at some point when the studio was scanning pages and that. Yeah, this is ridiculously good. So, anyways, yeah, if you're a Platt fan, you have to own this book. This book it's so awesome. And you get little ads. You got Frege, you got Pat Lee. I don't know where I am. I was already roommates with them at this point. But yeah, so they didn't feature my Crypt book that was coming out. Thanks a lot, guys. But anyways, yeah. So this is freaking ridiculous. It's awesome. This book is a masterclass of Platt of this era. Before he started kind of delving more into the mainstream, cleaner Jim Lee look that he was doing. Okay, so there's that. Next preview. If you find it like this, you could probably get it for cheap. If you find it like this, it's going to be more expensive. So this is a line art edition preview. What you have in the front is the Rejects preview pages by Rob in the front, right? Yeah, it's weird. He's got like a phone number down in here too. It's like, I don't know whose phone number that is. And then you got like the bat inks and stuff. So anyways, it doesn't end in the middle. It's just like 8 pages or so of Rob. If you do look it up online, you find the Glory preview, right? The exclusive convention preview, Glory. It's going to be about half the price, right? So they're going to market it this way or this way. Whichever way it's in the bag and the board is how they're going to market it. Most shops are going to try to sell it like this because obviously this has a higher price tag. So, and I do have another book I'm going to show you that's exactly this situation. So yeah, find the Glory. This obviously Brandon Peterson, ridiculously good. So you get the Glory pages here by Brando, and then you get preview pages for Fighting American by Platt. Okay, so you get this piece here. I think this was for Dogs of War. It's been years since I've actually read the books, but yeah, again, Platt still got that that Prophet type line art going. These were statted off pencil, I believe, in the printed book. So this is the final version of these pages, and it's strong work. I do prefer these to the printed ones because something the colorist did. I don't recall who colored it, but they came in things like this, where you have all this cross hatching and all this like crazy noodling that he was doing. They came in and just dropped black. Like they were coming in and dropping heavy shadows in areas where obviously Steven was coming in with gradients and stuff like that. So I would say that this preview is somewhat essential just because of that. And this ridiculous double page spread. This is very cool. So yeah, so it's 6 or 8 pages of a preview here. Very nice shot. I love the shadows that he threw on here from the leaves and stuff. So the leaves. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, if you find this Glory preview or Rejects preview, it is a flip book. They don't always mention it, but like I said, you're probably going to find it like this for 25, 35, maybe 10 or 15 for this side right here. And it's the exclusive convention preview. I have no idea where this thing was sold. This was actually given to me, and I was very happy to find the Platt pages inside. All right, so Fighting American there. This one's rare and hard to find. It's a preview edition of Fighting American #1. It's the full issue in black and white. It's got a back cover of that Mark book that never came out. So you get line art for the entire issue by Platt. And it's, again, it was all scanned and statted in pencil, straight to color from pencil. I do work the same way, but I do a little bit of level adjustment and sometimes a little bit of tweaking here and there if you want certain characters, to stand out in the foreground. But yeah, this is a fun book. It's awesome. I from looking at some of these pencils, I think that this might have been Platt's Captain America issue. I'm not entirely sure. I do know that something they flipped. Captain America was lost, so they still retained the pages and used them. But there's definitely areas where you can see the star and stuff was drawn in the Captain America style. And I think, and then Marvel made them change the boots and stuff too, I believe. There was a bunch of stuff, but anyways, Platt art. This is awesome. This is a very awesome book. If you can track it down, I recommend getting it. But be prepared. It's going to cost it's going to cost up to a bill. It's going to be around $75 range, I think. But yeah, essential to anyone who wants to study Platt's work. I mean, this is a great book. It's the full issue, black and white, full pencils, and all that. So, all right. Here's the other exception I was talking about earlier, the flip book. Okay, so this is, Liquid, Leitner and Arne Lucen, they were doing their own company projects with people, and so they had Stephen Platt on Soul Saga, and then they had Ali Garza on the Eve Protomecha book. If you can find it sold as an Eve Protomecha preview edition, you're probably going to pay $15 to $20 for this, right? And it's got a bunch of line art from the book. It's printed on very nice glossy paper. So you're going to find all the Eve Protomecha pages, right? Not all of them. You're going to find a few. I think this is a 24-page book. It's probably 12 and 12 or something like that. So Eve, if you find it with this cover being marketed, people are going to try to get you for, 50, 60, 70 bucks. Plus ship, right? So anyways, Soul Saga preview. And this, as far as I know, this is the only line art Soul Saga preview that exists. So you get pages here from the Soul Saga books. I mean, the artwork's beautiful. Artwork's beautiful. This was kind of the rebound after his, the Prophet run, and then he had the Fighting American run, and then kind of disappeared, did some stuff at Top Cow or whatnot. So you don't get very many pages in here, which is weird. So you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then some sketches. So you get some character designs here. So 6, 7 pages of Stephen Platt art. And then this really bizarre page. This page here looks straight out of Platt trying to do, like a... I forgot the artist's name from Heavy Metal, but this very cross-hatchy thing. Frank Cho's another artist that does this. It's very wispy, crazy cross-hatchy style. And I don't recall the artist's name. He does a lot of nudes and lewds for stories of females on other planets and stuff. It's not as purity. And then obviously you can see the Mobius, Platt trying to draw some Mobius stuff. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the inspiration was for these, but I think they just threw these in because they were probably readily available for the book. But they're not. None of this is canon to the Soul Saga book. It's just kind of a strange page to roll in. And then a little thing from Platt and Chris Leitner in here talking about stuff. And then you get a preview color of the wraparound Soul Saga cover, and then you get a preview of that pinup. I'm not entirely sure what it was for. I did not pick this book up when it came out. I ended up getting a trade from someone that was given to me later on. So yeah, cool book to own. Again, as far as I know, the only pages that exist in preview form for Soul Saga in black and white line art. There was a supplemental that came out in Wizard magazine. It was number 99 or 100, and I believe the French edition and the Italian edition of the Wizard magazine came with a Soul Saga preview, which was this exact image with a green background, and then I saw one with a red. It had an orange and a red with none of this line art stuff behind her. It was just orange and red. And I've seen them on some foreign sites for sale. But when you convert it to US dollars, it's about $400. So I'm going to assume that maybe it's maybe it's just this portion here, like these 8 pages, because you can print an 8-page book, right? So I'm curious, what it is. I'm not going to gamble to find out what it is. I highly doubt, because it was a supplemental to the Wizard magazine. I doubt that it's a complete issue. I'm just going to assume that it was just this, and the fact that this cover was already available for them to use, and they were trying to push marketing for Soul Saga, which, yeah, it was under the top cow for producing it as well. So, but yeah, really, it was yeah. Soul Saga was Platt and Chris Leitner, and I believe Arn Lucen was still in there too. Not entirely sure. Everything blends. But anyways, yeah. So check it out. Soul Saga preview. Expensive, but worth it. If you want to see some preview pencils to this series, totally worth it. If you can find this, I suggest purchasing it. Make sure it is the preview edition. They did reuse this cover for other things, and there is a preview edition of this book, and I think it's a flip book, which contains the same preview pages in this Glory preview, right? So, kind of recommend, highly recommend, kind of sort of recommend, highest recommendation. You can live without it. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I got there, and yeah, I hope this helps more so than confuses. So, thanks.